everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. Well, we do have a big week to talk about. We've got a lot coming up this week. Big Daddy Powell himself speaks tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We also have Inflows. We talked about this last week. And we do got a 45-day stopgap, and we're not going to get in to the details and be overly political or anything. But it looks like there's, was some sacrifices definitely made just to get this 45-day stopgap. So see where that goes, but right now that should be bullish, and we talked about this. Those inflows coming in the morning, some volume coming in could help kick off a little bit of FOMO in the markets. The only thing is we have Big Daddy Powell speaking at 10, so not expecting the market to do a whole lot until after Powell speaks, and then hopefully Powell can move the market. We do have a lot of Fed speakers this week as well. Earnings, not much going on there. Earnings do start next week. Mostly on the data front is heavy job numbers. So let's get into the charts and we'll talk about things as we go. We can see the breadth. We did push bearish on Friday, did push us a little bit higher, so we closed again at 104 after coming back down to the 100 area, cooling off a little bit. The oscillators cooled off for the NASDAQ -27 and -73 for the New York Stock Exchange. So still got plenty of room to move in either direction. SPX, this is the weekly chart, still holding this previous level of support down here. It's ugly. Definitely seen the buyers tried to come back in a little bit and try to push that candle back up with some FOMO coming into the market. See if we hold this support and possibly push back up at least for a flag. Want to watch those short-term moving averages on the way back up. SPX, this is the breadth chart, and you can see we did, become negative or positive again for 2 days last week, and then right back negative on Friday. The 9 on this chart is trying to turn up here, so we want to keep a close eye on that. So far, not seeing any divergence there. The dollar coming back in a little bit last week, flagging back into that 9. Right here's where you want to watch if you're looking to trade this. You can definitely see the buyers coming back in on that candle, trying to push it back up. And the VIX green on Friday, still under that daily 200. This chart's looking pretty bullish there as well. Crude holding the daily 9. Still looking for a push here. We did get a push up last week and then come back in. Apple, this is Apple's daily chart. So you can see we gapped up on Friday morning, and buyers come back in at the end of the day, pushed it up a little bit, but still a low close candle there. Not a lot of bullishness in that chart right now, but if they do come in, in the morning into the market's hard, looking for a, buy the dip type possibilities with the stopgap, Apple will definitely be on the radar. And you see Apple's intraday chart, pretty flat there on Friday. Just not a lot of range. Provided some opportunities, but not a lot of range there. Gold moving lower, that's exactly what we're expecting there with that small head and shoulders pattern. SPX got the advanced decline line rolled over here as well. We do have AMC just chopping. It's just trading sideways, guys. Definitely want to keep an eye on this. This did get a decent little push on Friday when some of the other stocks were, getting destroyed. Keep an eye on it. It did close barely, but did close back above that daily 9. So see if we can get back above that daily 20 before I'm interested in anything really long there. AMD trading sideways on Friday. See it come back down, retested the previous lows. Looks like gap fill. Come down, tested that gap, went into it a little bit, and that support looks like it was able to hold there. Amazon, watch your 9. Got your daily 9. See where we open tomorrow. It's a good chance we could see a gap up. ARK, trading in this very ugly head and shoulders pattern. We did push back up out of that on Friday. Want to keep a close eye on this. We are back above that 9, still under that 200 in a pretty tough area there. AMD, this is AMD's daily chart. We did get back above the 9, so you can see we bounced off this 200 back above the 9 and its previous level of resistance here. So that now will actually support. We did close back above that 20. We did gap up, and you can see we moved down. Friday's candle line held, or Thursday's candle line held on Friday for support. So looking for a bounce off of that, possibly off that level. Looks like Thursday's close. Watch that for support. And AMD pushing back up into. We got that break out of that little wedge pattern. Broke to the downside, pushing right back up into the weekly 9. Watch your weekly 9 there for resistance as well. You see if we can get back above that area, this could see a decent push. So some of these charts, still holding in well. It's not really broke down that well. These bands not really seeing a lot of momentum there. Look like they just kind of want to tube. So, but if we you could get a nice move back up to the upside there without having any momentum or any change in those bands as well. Remember, we can trade the trading ranges. We just don't try to trade the breakouts if the trading range is big enough to give us some money out of. And you can see Amazon, very head and shoulders pattern here. So let's keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. Coming in, they're still expecting a gap up with the stop gap in place. Definitely will be keeping an eye on the futures when they open. But nice push up there, or nice setup for a possible pullback, and expecting a nice push up in the morning, to be honest. Amazon weekly, we did close below that 920, 200. Do got the 50 down there. Apple on the weekly as well. Apple's breaking down, so we did get that close below that support level that we were watching. So normally that would suggest some downside. The only thing is it's a stopgap. Wondering if they're going to come buying some dip opportunities here and just trying to push the market up a little bit. Hopefully we can get some good FOMO and some good volume coming into the markets. But that does look like we should be moving lower. Boeing, we were expecting a move down on this one. Definitely didn't expect that much of a move, big move down. So we were breaking out of this little lower high area here, 1, 2, 3 reversal. Kind of traded kind of like an H sell pattern, just looking for a break below. Was able to get that and start moving lower there. Bitcoin back to resistance on a daily, back above the 9 and 20 there. You got an H buy pattern, but you can clearly see that it needs to be above this resistance level. This is starting to look very inverted head and shoulders down here as well. This is a higher low coming back up to test that. That would be great to see some FOMO, and you can almost see a neckline running through here. You can see how these come up a little stronger to test. Struggling to even get back up into that area. So you can see some sellers stepping in, kind of trying to wedge price there. Definitely would keep an eye on Bitcoin. We'd like to see it above that resistance level. For me, I want to see it above this range high right here. We could see rejection there as well, so let's not get over carried away. We could see rejection there, and that could still provide opportunities on our crypto names. TNX, this once again just hanging out up here in the all-time highs. We did come back into that 9. Looks like it wants to go higher. Unfortunately, the communication sector so far lower high here, trying to push back up. And this chart's pretty much wedging. We're going to see this on a few of these charts. We're going to draw this one out. But this is the exact same wedge we have on a few of these different charts. There's a couple of different ways that we could look at them. And we've talked about quite a few of them, like in a Discord, but just want to point out this as well. Got some definite wedging going on in there. So lower low, higher high, definitely wedging. XLP looks like it wants to break lower here once again. That stopgap tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to be the type of names they're going to be coming for with inflows coming in. We'll see. DraftKings, same here. You see a lower high and a higher low. Once again, we're wedging there. Lily, a very head and shoulders pattern here, trying to break down. Watch that 50-day take a move down. There's nothing textbook about that, but however you see it, lower high, and this thing wants to break down below that 50. If you go back here, you can see you got good support in this area, so got room, plenty of room there to make money. Gap down there too. ExxonMobil coming back on the 9 and 20 right there, testing, see if we can get a move up. One of the better looking energy charts. Google Google, this is very bear flag. As you can see, we gapped up and got rejected back below some moving averages. So that definitely looks like it wants to come down. Starting to set up with a drowning goose there on the MACD. Definitely looks like it has more downside. Chart is falling apart. Was definitely one of the better looking charts out here. But, all right, big but here. The stopgap could change a lot of that inflows coming in. That could make that money head towards tech again, at least for short term. Home Depot back up to the 209 coming down, retesting that 200. That is resistance there. Home Depot on the weekly, you can see right here trading in a wedge. This is a rising wedge trying to push higher. See what we get here. See if we do get a bounce off of, because we are at support. We did close below the 50 weekly there, but we are at that support. See if we may possibly want to bounce. IWM weak on the 15-minute time frame. Very nice move down there. Got a lot of entries there. Qs, you can see the lower. So we did lower high, lower low here. So some of them are wedging. This one is lower low. Not a good sign. See how we act. Rejected at the 9. Now if, once again, stopgap. Qs, nice move down. Recovered a little bit at the end of the day. Barely off the lows there. The Qs, we did have a high close candle on the weekly, but so they were able to push it up a little bit and close it green above the previous month's close. But, you know, very ugly setup down here. Definitely see a little bit of bullishness coming in, and with the stopgap, we could definitely try to push. Now we have to get back through that 9 and 20, and these moving averages out on your weekly time frame are starting to pinch in. So, you know, that would tell us, if we were looking at the 1 minute time frame right now, we would tell us we possibly need a minute or two to have a candle. But see what happens with the right FOMO. We could really make a move up to those bands in one way or the other. See what we get tomorrow. We do have the 9 and 20 above us for resistance on the weekly time frames on a lot of charts. JP Morgan, very choppy. Very, very choppy. Just did push up and put in a high, come back down. We put in a higher low, and then looks like a lower high right there that turned back down. Ugly chart. Merck finally breaking down here, breaking down with a falling 1. So that's a pattern, candle pattern we follow. Looking for continuation off of that. Once again, stopgap. But I wouldn't think this would be one of the type of names that they'll be coming for. So that's one that could be key. Keep an eye on for a move short. And it may not get followed through tomorrow. It may take a few days to start lower. And you can see Meta here, very tight wedge. So we're looking here, we're getting into the apex. We want to keep a close eye on that apex, see which way we go. Volume profile looks good for a move higher. We do have, well, actually, no, let me take that back. We're trading right in the middle of that. So we need to clear that volume profile there to get a better move. Meta, 15-minute chart, you can see slam down, tried to push up and got slammed back down at the end of the day. Microsoft, you can see the lower low here as well. So clear downtrend now. Microsoft intraday, 15-minute time frame, a push up, and then they sold it. Microsoft 15-minute chart, a lot like the Qs, below the 9 and 20 there. We did push down and put in a lower low, so we've got a higher low, a lower low, and we did get a low close candle here. Those bands do look like they want a tube, so we'll be keeping a close eye on these weekly bands of this week. And we do got the drowning goose there on the MACD. Once again, stopgap measures, that could be one of the names they try coming for. Here's NVIDIA, and this is definitely one of the names they could try coming for right now in this market with the chips, the AI chips. MACD definitely changing character here. Reclaim the 9 trying to turn up. Watch the 20 on the weekly. Charts definitely changing character, trying to climb back up. See what we get. This is definitely going to be one of the names they're probably going to come for. NVIDIA. Downtrend on Mondays, reversal there at the end of the day for a soft push up at the end of the day. NVIDIA back above that 20 on the weekly, testing your weekly 9, a little better chart there. NASDAQ, lower low. We did gap up above that 9, giving it back, holding that support. If we go back, we do have that huge volume profile bar that we got to cut back through on the way up. So that's going to be resistance if we do try to push up. Netflix, bear flagging at the daily 9 there. The Qs we're expecting to pull back and put in a handle. So it's doing exactly what we were expecting there. SPX, bear flagging back to the 9, breaking back lower. Want to keep an eye on this for the stopgap, but right now that chart does look like it wants to go lower. Chips, well, high close candle on Friday. Still downtrend here. We put the lower low in, but trying to push back up. Watch that 9 and 20 on the way back up. The diamond, so we got this head and shoulders pattern here that we broke out of. So we did close. You can see we gapped up and rejection closed below that 200. That looks like a stair. We're closing below, staircase down. See what we get tomorrow. Stopgap. I don't know if these are going to be the names they're going to be coming for. SPY breaking lower, clear downtrend there. SPY back down to the the monthly 9. So you can see they come forward a little bit, trying to push it up off of that monthly 9, expecting some kind of handle there. So doing exactly what we were expecting. And rejection at the 9 here on the SPY. Moving on some decent volume as well. As MACD does look like it should be turning down to go lower. Bear flagging off the 9. So we need to keep a close eye on this. We can definitely go up because of the stopgap measures. SPY, the 15-minute chart, intraday, nice move down and soft push up off the lows. Square breaking lower there, bear flagging back to that 9. Tesla pulled back, found some support down here and tried to push at the end of the day. A decent push at the end of the day. You can see the move down, traded sideways for a while before breaking lower. That's the 15-minute chart. XLK, lower low here as well. Pushed up to that 9 and failed, or gapped up over that 9, failed, got pushed back down. Tesla, we're right here on this wedge. Just keep an eye on this. And this is the weekly chart. You can see the rising wedge. We're trying to push off from it. Very particular area where we need to keep a close eye on this. Bands are setting up right now. Keep a close eye on this one for a move. We did get a small little I want to say bullish rally, but it's not a textbook bullish rally, but it did close back up in that candle. Look to see if we get anything off of that. And on the daily, you can see we're trading in this wedge. So we have support. We're trying to bounce off that wedge. Watch your 9, your 50, your 20 on the way back up. Can we take those out, or will we break lower and head outside of the pattern? So we've got to watch that wedge. Nice coil in there. Uber got a higher low. So got a higher high and a higher low right there. Well, actually, no, we broke down. So this would have been your low, high. Yeah, actually, that broke down. So looks like it wants to give us a new trend. See what we get here. This MACD does look like it wants to roll over. This could be a name they may try to come for. Tech name, kind of, maybe. We'll see. That MACD does look like it wants to roll over there. Trying to set up for a drowning goose. Walmart, big bearish engulfing candle on Friday. See what happens with that one. That's ugly there. XL, let's go back to Walmart. Did I just see? No, I'm not going to call that out. XLE, lower high here. See what we get. Energy maybe trying to break down. XLF, that's definitely breaking down. Close below. That should have, we were be looking for like an H-cell pattern there, and it just got a real close below, so we would be expecting a move lower. Definitely want to keep an eye on the banks for a possible move lower there. TLT, this has just been ugly. We need some light to come back into the bond market. IWM on the weekly, see this little head and shoulders pattern right here. We don't have it drawn out. We're definitely watching it breaking lower. Of course, we have one on the daily as well. You can see last week's candle did close back inside of the previous week's trading range. That's good. Good volume there as well. But the IWM daily, ugly, back below that 9. That's previous support there. Well, that's the end of the video. Hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you in the trading room. Please remember, discipline is the key to success in trading. Have a great night.